These are the 5 exercises that you need to be doing. If you are not doing these exercises, you should add them to your program. It is my opinion that these 5 exercises together will completely build a base. They will build pretty much every muscle in your body, top to bottom. And then if you need anything else, you can fill in the gaps. Okay. And so when I say this, I am saying that you can build your whole foundation. These should be your foundational exercises. And again, this is my opinion, but this is my channel and my videos. And so my opinion rules. All right. Right up front, bench press. This is America's favorite exercise. This is the king of upper body movements, the bench press. And we'll just kind of go through these and then I'll explain each one as to why we want to do them. After that, the conventional deadlift. Again, the #1 exercise for developing brute strength through the entire body. Great developer for the posterior chain. And yes, I know some of these I'm doing singles on these, but that doesn't mean we can't do rep work on these for hypertrophy. Up next, you will see the barbell back squat. This one is just in general the king of exercises. Overall hypertrophy, size, strength, leg development, the back squat is king. Again, this is one of those I tell people this should be in your program unless you physically have a limitation to where you cannot do it. Up next after that, we're going to have the pull-up. Or in my case, I'm doing them weighted, and I'll go so far as to say that if you're not strong enough to do a pull-up, obviously you can substitute rows until then, or you can do like reverse band pull-ups, okay? You can do these on a rack with reverse bands, and a lot of people who aren't even strong enough to do them, I have found they can do them with reverse bands, so that really isn't an excuse. Again, this is one of those pivotal exercises. It's critical, in my opinion, to be strong and athletic. And then number 5, no, it's not the overhead press. It's going to be the barbell curl. Okay, why the barbell curl? Because the biceps get limited in all these other movements. Tons of people end up with inferior bicep development when they focus purely on strength-based programs, and then the end result, everyone thinks that these big strength-based programs are terrible for hypertrophy and aesthetics because people have lagging biceps. Because of that one muscle, everyone makes a big deal. Plus, the barbell curl itself, once you get strong at this or pretty heavy at it, or people who choose to do it less strict with cheating, is an athletic movement that helps build muscle in a lot of places. So let's kind of break these down as to what they work and why. All right, the bench press. One of the best chest exercises. Research has shown this repeatedly. People, for some reason, don't understand that. They act like it's not a great chest builder because they don't execute the lift correctly. Okay? It is one of the #1 overall chest developers. It will build your delts to a large extent, particularly the front delts, the triceps, just overall just stability also through the entire upper body. Okay, kind of a big deal. So then when you think about when you combine that with the pull-up, see where I'm about to go with that? What all do pull-ups work? They work everything else. Okay, pull-ups, top lat builder. So I mean, if we're talking again the major muscles of the torso, what all's being worked? Well, everything at that point, because pull-ups do work the posterior delts, to some extent the side delts. They work biceps to a lesser extent than curls, grip, traps, rhomboids, abs. Pull-ups are a great core exercise. Pull-ups and chin-ups have been shown in numerous studies to actually be just as good of an ab exercise as a crunch, at least if you go by EMG activation. So again, all the opposing muscle groups to the bench press, you combine that together, everything has been worked. Everything has been worked. The only stuff that you might go, well, maybe some parts of the tricep, maybe definitely some more curls, maybe some delt work. Okay, but delt work is stuff that we could focus on after all this is done. I'm going to go somewhere with that in a minute. As far as just programming for aesthetics. In fact, that's what I would say. If a person had minimal time investment, these 5 exercises, if you just did these and just did delt work, nothing but delt work on top of this, you would actually get a very aesthetic physique within the limits of your genetics and your time commitment. Okay. If you wanted the most efficient way to do it, to just get jacked everywhere quick, develop an aesthetic physique, I would hammer these 5 exercises and then just double down on delt work from there. Shoulders, shoulders, shoulders. Okay? Whether that's incline benching, laterals, overhead work, upright rows. Just hit those delts. Maybe delts out a little more upper chest. That's it. Be in a good spot. But this will still build all your foundation for it. Okay? So come back over to this, the bicep curl. Why the bicep curl? Again, guys end up with too small of biceps. You usually see lack of arm development, and it's not enough for a lot of guys, particularly on programs that are built just around a lot of these other exercises. And barbell curls resolve that. They resolve it. Again, if you do them correctly. So again, I consider them to be a foundational exercise, and I will tend to always put them at this point moving forward into people's programs. And as far as the rest of the triceps go, sure, if you need more tricep, no problem with it. But pull-ups do work the long head of the tricep. So benching and pull-ups, you got a lot covered there. And I'm not saying you won't get bigger arms doing some extra tricep work on top of it. I do. But if we're trying to get our meat and potatoes lifts, these are the lifts that are going to give you 90% of your results. If you just do these 5 lifts, you've got 90% of your results covered all through the body. And it's going to be balanced, at least in terms of muscle joints, injury prevention, things like that, even if it's not perfectly aesthetically balanced. All right, squats and deadlifts. Deadlift, I think everyone knows my favorite exercise. I'm biased towards it. A lot of the research on posterior chain that I've seen over the years, and I've seen my friend Matt Griffiths point that out, great coach. I've seen him kind of point out, look, I don't know why people always insist on these other things. They're good exercises, but when they're compared head to head, he goes, the deadlift is just an absolute monster for lower body development, right? It absolutely is. And it is amazing, hands down. You can get a crazy jacked posterior chain, a lot of your back, everything else, just doing the deadlift. Plus it will make you brutally strong. And it doesn't matter that it doesn't put you into the lengthened positions. That's the problem with a lot of that data. You still have any study that looks at the deadlift, it is just a monster. By sheer virtue of the amount of stress and tension it places through so many muscles, and then the primary movers moving an enormously heavy weight, with the primary movers being your whole posterior chain. Okay, and then of course squats, and most coaches over the years have realized squats are kind of the king of building athletes. Amazing leg exercise, builds your entire lower body, quads, glutes, adductors, core stabilization, and just overall athleticism. So again, throw that in the mix, and you got a lot of good stuff going on here. All right, we got a lot of good stuff going on. And then after that, you fill in the gaps with other stuff that you need. But if you are not doing these 5 exercises, you are shortchanging yourself. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.